cool facts about the brown bear. Now, how much do we really know about the brown bear? Well, I'm going to test your knowledge. See if you can beat me. Okay, so brown bears can weigh between 150 and 370 kilograms, or 300 pounds and 815 pounds, depending on their age, their gender, and what time of season it is. Because obviously before they go into hibernation, they're going to be big fluffy, and after hibernation, they're going to be a little bit thin. So it varies. Anyways, even though these are massive, huge animals, they're fast. They're super fast. These guys can run at 50 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. That's right. And they have an amazing sense of smell. As you can tell, these guys are catching something on the wind. Maybe a camper, a couple miles away, because these guys can smell for like multiple miles or multiple kilometers. So they're probably smelling some bacon and going, hey, we're coming over for dinner. Save some for us. Okay, just kidding. Anyways, these guys are most active during dawn and dusk. That's right. They don't like the heat of the day any more than we do, but they will use the water to cool off and maybe catch a few fishes. Now, did you know that they're omnivores? That's right. Now, an omnivore is an animal that can eat multiple different things to sustain their body. But most of the stuff they eat is vegetation. That's right. They like the roots and the berries and the leaves off the trees. But as you can see here, they also fish. They're amazingly accurate fishers. They are able to swoop those up and eat them. I wish I had half the capability. My grocery bill would be way smaller. Now, having said that, these guys look for food for about 16 hours a day. Can you imagine foraging for food 16 hours a day? Tells you how active they are. And also, they eat 90 pounds of food per day during spring and summer because of their hibernation. That's right. They have to stock up so that they can last anywhere between 4 and 7 months worth of hibernation. Holy cannolis! Could you imagine? That's a heck of a nap. Now, during hibernation, bears actually live off of that stored fat. That's right. That's why they lose, so much weight during the thing, and they wake up with just this voracious appetite. So one of the times to be very, very leery of bears is when they first come out of hibernation, because they need to eat, and they need to eat large amounts just to regain their strength. Now, these guys tend to be solitary. That's right. They kind of like their own company, their own attention, and they're not much for sharing their space or their territory. The only time these guys kind of want to do this kind of thing is during mating season or when they have cubs. And then they'll kind of go on a search to find a mate, or they'll be staying away trying to catch those scents of the other bears so that they can keep their distance to keep their cubs safe. Talk about being brilliant. There are also 3 types of brown bears. That's right. Did you know that there were 3 types? Oh, and here, look. Example, this is them swimming. They are phenomenal swimmers. These guys can swim, and as you can tell, look how fast this guy is. When I say that they can run, I mean they can run. Now, this is an example of 2 of them sort of communicating together, and these are obviously looking to see whose territory it is, what they need to defend, because you know what? During mating season, they need to communicate. They need to understand how this is going to work. And they communicate through all those ways that I told you. Grunts, clicks. They show concern for their cubs using sort of little piffs and perps. I mean, they have so many cool sounds for communication. Plus, they use the scent. They'll take their foot and they'll grind it into the dirt. And there's glands on their feet that actually put this scent into the ground, and there can be 20 different notes that relay different information, like gender and whether or not they're ready to mate, or if they already have cubs. It is so cool, the things that they learn just from doing these little things. How crazy is that? Awesome. So that's their communication skills. And here we are. Watch. These guys are eating just the little bits off the branches and stuff to help sustain that body. That's why they're able to eat a good portion of vegetation, because they eat a wide variety of it. Plus, they also like to rip through logs with those big claws of theirs and get out all the little bugs and all the little beetles and stuff that are living off of the trees and that. How cool! Okay, so we've touched base a little bit on bears' communication, but one of the things that I want to make very clear is bears' body language. That's right. Now, bears, we should really pay attention to their body language if they're in our vicinity. If they're sitting down or they're walking away, that's good. They're just showing us respect. We show them respect by doing the same. If they're standing motionless or they're grazing, it means they really have no intention and they just want to be left alone so that they continue doing what they're doing. Now, there's other signs that are very, very nerve-wracking for me. Now, those are the ones where you'll see them suddenly lunge towards, or they'll slap the ground, or they'll use their paw and slap the vegetation, and they'll start making verbal noises. Now, those, depending on what type of bear, can be very dangerous. Now, a black bear, it's telling you to go away, leave it alone. But if you go away and leave it alone, you should be fine. Now, grizzly bear, that's a much more aggressive threat, because they are more likely to actually fight you. So you have to know the signs, and you have to know how to respond to them. And that's why we watch the behavior of the bears around us, and we be very respectful of them. Now I'm going to go through a few safety tips of things you can do if you run into a bear. Okay, with bear safety for campers and hikers, we suggest that, for one, you carry bear spray or bear horn or both, and also that you have a constant noise so you're not catching them off guard. So having a little noise player beside you, like, your phone playing music, or a little radio playing music, or keep talking the conversation nice and loud, will always help. But if you run into a bear, a defense a bear may be feeding to protect its young, or simply you've surprised it. So in these situations, you want to appear non-threatening, talk in a very calm voice. Whenever the bear is not advancing, slowly walk away without turning your back to the bear. If the bear continues to advance, stand your ground and keep talking. If the bear approaches within 4 meters, use your bear spray or the horn. Now note, some bears can be more threatening. See those claws? We don't want to be on the end of those, because, they are able to dominate us. So we want to be very respectful of bears and ensure that we're doing the right things. Now, if a bear attack does happen, the best thing you can do is lay down and play dead and hope that it goes away. But in most cases, bears have no interest in us and have no interest in being near us. They just want to forage and get their food. So as long as we're respectful, we never have to do these things. But always carry bear spray and the bear horn. And remember, be respectful of their space. Make yourself wear a bell, play the music box, do the things you have to do so that they know where you are. Because mama bear and baby bears, they just want to have their space. And so do we. We all want to enjoy the woods. Okay, enough about safety. Let's move on to something more fun. Now, baby bears. Did you know that the mama bear enters the den pregnant? That's right. She can be pregnant with 1 to 5 cubs. Now, on average, they give birth between 2 and 3, but they can have up to 5. How cool is that? And after hibernation, the baby's actually strong enough to follow her right out of the den and get going. But when they're first born, they're about the size of a small chipmunk, can you imagine? And they're born completely naked, no fur, and blind. They cannot see. Now, cubs live with mom for about 3 years. Who knew? Now you do. Do you also know that the cubs will wrestle and play together, so they build their muscles so that they can be stronger for foraging? And it also teaches them all the different languages back and forth. Now, cubs actually nurse for 3 years. That's right. They don't stop nursing on mom and getting that very high-fat milk out of her, because, bears need high-fat milk because they have to do so much hibernation and stuff that mama gives them a boost. Now, did you know that not only does mom teach them how to fish and how to play and teaches them bear language and how to rub their paws, but she also has a babysitter. That's right. Because bears can climb trees, Mama Bear will set up her cubs when she needs to go foraging beside a big tree so that if there's any danger and the bears sense anything, they can quickly run up the tree and hide from whatever predators or scary things that they might encounter. Look at Mom kind of back away as they play. She's just letting them have fun. Mama bears are very well balanced and give the bears not only lessons in how to do things, but also the freedom to live and learn. Now, here we go. This is what I'm talking about with these trees. They can climb up these trees at a very young age, and it's done not only for foraging for bugs and insects and getting into honey pots like the Pooh Bear, but also so that they can use it to hide or scout out where things might be or keep an eye on Mama. But look at these little cuties. How awesome are they, right? Now, that 3-year period, you would think that these guys grow up so fast. But really, it's such a learning, such a growing thing that they have to do that Mom has to stay with them for those first 3 years so she can show them territory, what to eat, what not to eat, what areas to avoid so that they're not, being impacted by humans and traffic and so on and so forth. All the cool things we have learned about the brown bear today and other bears for that matter. Love and respect is what we're looking for on both sides for us to be able to coexist with these guys. Now, bears, 100%, I don't want you to live in fear of them. There is no need to. I've been doing wildlife photography for multiple years, and just enjoy them, but enjoy them respectfully.